Hunters, base defense is changing. Starting Monday, we're moving from 6 15-minute sessions to 3 30-minute sessions daily. That's a massive endurance test for your health potions and your skill. Today, I've got tips for you to survive the 30-minute grind against Riftcharged Radobaan, and the builds I'm working on to get high scores. The total hunting time per day is the same, but it's compressed to 3 sessions of 30 minutes. I know we are all trying to get the top 5 scores we can, but the rewards are great to keep hunting again and again. So staying in the fight for a full 30 minutes meets potion management. So you either need to be very good, have level 10 armor, or use the perfectionist skill to help those mistakes. I've made a video around that skill, and it should be showing in the top right corner now. You cannot break parts on this Radobaan. Normally, breaking its armor grants a 130% to 145% damage buff. Since parts won't break, we might lose that bonus damage and the frequent staggers that make Radobaan easy to hunt. You can break the shield to stagger it, but will that count as removing the armor? It's going to be a tanky, relentless fight. Here are the builds I'm preparing. Maybe they will help you choose if you still need one. First up is the Diablos Cannon 5, a weapon I'm practically legally obligated to recommend. Customizing it for guard reload. You're gonna max out on guard and artillery because your entire gameplay loop is block, reload, while taking a hit, and blast. You can reload anytime by just pressing hold and dragging down. Since artillery damage ignores armor, you'll be shredding through a Radobaan's armor if we can't break through it. For the rest of the build, try Drip Smelt as much offensive guard as you can to turn those blocks into massive damage buffs. While the armor setup is flexible, artillery level 5 is the non-negotiable. That extra shell transforms the Gunlance from a clunky stick into a fluid machine of destruction. The build on the side gives you a max out of guard and artillery, and 6 Drip Smelt slots to add what you can. Next up, we have the Claw. I call it that because Goss Haragog's lance stretches out so far, it basically looks like a giant icy finger reaching out to poke a monster in the eye. I stumbled across this build online, and honestly, it looked like too much fun to ignore. It maxes out critical ferocity, which every Goss Haragog weapon needs. It runs Valor, so every time Radobaan screams, you get your special back. We're pairing that with special boosts, meaning the final hit of your Lance Super is going to hit like a freight train made of crit damage. Doing that nuke twice a fight for shields is the plan. Fair warning, this build is a massive drift smelting sink. It's a grind. I'm only 1 skill away from finishing it, and I'm genuinely stoked to take this thing for a spin, especially outside of base defense. Look, I'm not exactly a heavy bowgun main, but the Diablo HBG looked like fun, and I had to try out the style customizations. It started as a perfectionist setup, mostly because I was terrified of dying while learning the controls. But now that I've actually figured out which end the bullets come out of, and with that new crouching shot in play, the strategy has totally changed. More damage. With crouching shot, your top priority is max reload speed, as you don't need to worry about recoil down. I had the Betelgeuse helm for 2 points and was searching for the other point. I found it in the Brute Tigrex arms and thought, let's continue with this advanced attack boost I have now. Added the Waist and Chemitrice Greaves to give me 3 levels of attack boost. With Chemitrice Chest giving me spare shot and some normal element ammo boost, I'm ready to grind out the new critical range boost to see how much I can get as bonus damage. Weapon number 4 is the Goss Harag Charge Blade. I built this purely because it looks terrifyingly cool. I'll be the first to admit, my Charge Blade skills are a work in progress. I'm not quite at that pro tier level yet, but hey, that's exactly why we're here. This build is my training wheels, a chance to actually practice the combos and stop missing my SAEDs. The strategy, lean into the raw. We're focusing on raw power and critical ferocity. Synergy. Since Goss weapons come with innate critical ferocity anyway, it would be rude not to max it out. We're doubling down on that strength to make every hit feel like a truck. As for the fine-tuning, look, my smelter is currently working overtime on 5 other projects. I haven't had a second to roll for extra skills, so what you see is what you get. Let's see if this style over substance approach actually holds up in the field. For weapon number 5, we're reuniting with an old flame, my Deviljho dual blades. I spent a ridiculous amount of time grinding Malzeno parts for this build, and honestly, it's a work of art. This setup keeps me glued to the ceiling and gives me all the mobility in the world, provided I actually, dodge occasionally. Now, because I know my own limits, I've got a perfectionist variant waiting in the wings as a safety net. It's for those oops, I'm dead again moments, where I need to play defense without swapping my entire identity. You've heard me hype these up before, but they're just reliable. Radobaan is basically allergic to Dragon Element, so these should absolutely melt him. If things go sideways and he starts bullying me, I'll pivot to some other dragon gear to save the score. But for now, we're going in spinning. And there you have it, the builds I'm rocking to keep things efficient. If you're still hanging out with me, seriously, thank you. You're the real MVP. Now gear up, because Radobaan is rolling in this week. Good luck with that bony hula hoop. You're going to need it. To make life easier, we've got some solid Zeny bonuses dropping, plus double rewards. Perfect if you're scrambling for those last-minute weapon upgrades. I'm genuinely hyped to see how the week plays out, especially the base defense fights. They're looking chaotic in the best way possible. Until next time, happy hunting.